Hey everybody, Turns Up here. Today we're going to be looking at this mod named Against the Cult. Now while the name has changed, this is the Celesta version of Against the Cult of the Reptile God, an adventure module based on AD&D in the Greyhawk world that was first published all the way back in 1982 by Douglas Niles. In it, player characters arrive at a small village that appears to be fairly normal, with some standard fare, hospitable and not so hospitable people. It isn't until questioning some of those villagers and wandering around that it's discovered that some of the other more not so nice people in this village haven't always been like that. Something's changed their personality. In this process, we find out that there's an evil cult that worships a reptile god. Now, Celesta mod follows much of the same beats, if not the same locales, with the main focal point hinging around a village named Bel Ferez. This module starts at level 1 and you end somewhere around 10 to 11, with it taking upwards to 30 plus hours to complete. Upgrades are plenty, traps are light, combat is heavy, and roleplaying is extensive, at least for Celesta. I'll leave a link down below for the Steam version that you can find. But before we dive too far down this rabbit hole, remember to like and subscribe for more content. Let's go ahead and dive in. For people that have followed my channel for a while, they know that one of my favorite modules created by AD&D is Cult of the Reptile God. It really has a soft spot for me because back in my college days at late night, these were the dungeon sessions that I played. So that being said, it comes to little surprise that I would jump on the Celesta version to give it a whirl. One of the things I noticed right away is that the creator has spent some time crafting a lot of dialogue for every NPC. So even when you walk up to the random person, they're going to make a comment, and usually it's actually to inform you of something ahead, which I found quite appealing. The opening of the venture is pretty standard fare, with your group arriving at an inn. From there, we're given a few options to explore and people to interact with, including the typical trope of exploring the cellar because there's definitely some big bad nasty down there that we've got to take care of. It isn't until we're about to leave the inn that we encounter this frantic man that stumbles in and informs the party that his woman Beth has been taken by some goblin. Being the heroic heroes that we are, we go investigate. All this leads down to a path towards the other village, which is called Bel Ferez, which I spoke about earlier, where we meet up with the local mayor and find out that something really weird has been going on with the villagers of late. People he has known for years are acting strangely, and it leaves it up to us to find out what's going on. Also, for some reason, the temple has also been closed for restoration, with no one being allowed inside at all. As far as gameplay is concerned, I found part of the element of questioning of the villagers almost overwhelming, bouncing off in multiple directions, as each villager is their own separate side quest and each may reveal a minute detail that could lead you elsewhere. For these segments, I strongly recommend to write down all pertinent information so you can follow the breadcrumbs easier. That isn't to say that it wasn't engaging and fun, as a surprise turn event can hit you unprepared to make for a really interesting combat encounter. Which leads us to the combat difficulty, where I found it anywhere from moderate to hard. Really having a balanced party can help out on this one. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, some of these fights are extremely stacked against you, and the last segments of this module when you enter the swamp area is particularly nasty, as each segment gets progressively harder with no safe camp spot to fully recuperate. I just really found this whole process draining. As far as the layout is concerned, I found it appealing. The tile set placements worked. It was laid out with thought, even to lighting, which is so important in Celesta combat. Also, the creator made good use of cover and angles. While nothing stood out as elaborate, grandiose design, the world environment clicked well, and I give it a thumbs up.
I thought you could fight.
In summary, Against the Cult was a fun module. Now, there are a couple more done by the author in this series, and at some time in the future I will be interested in going back and exploring those for review as well. I highly recommend this module to anyone that likes combat heavy adventure with some interesting side quests. I do feel that you'll want to have some experience with Celesta systems before diving in this module itself. That's it for my review of Against the Cult. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm going to go ahead and sign out. Have a great day gaming. Later.